could say he was getting under Andy Reid's skin. Big Red screaming at Goff to get back in the huddle. Get back in that huddle. Coach, you ever scream at an opposing quarterback?
To get back in the huddle like that?
Anything really.
Why is he over on the sideline anyway?
So that was the play. They called pass interference on the Chiefs.
I totally agree with that. Get back in the huddle.
Andy Reid, that was a huge challenge. It was they called pass interference on the Chiefs. Was a tip pass, so Reid challenged. They ended up forcing the Rams into a field.
Yeah, and he was coming over trying to assist the referees to try to tell them that the ball wasn't tipped. Coach got on him. That's not typical of Andy Reid.
It
But
isn't.
I like that exchange. A little better than Malcolm Jenkins, the exchange he had with Sean Payton.
Oh,
yeah.
So we had a little player-coach interaction this week. Nice.
Good stuff. All right, let's stick with last night's offensive explosion. 1,001 yards, 105 points, 14 touchdowns as the Rams outlasted the Chiefs 54-51. Those 14 touchdowns, that's more than the Bills have scored all season. Coach, what did last night's record-breaking night tell you about the state of the NFL, where we're at right now?
Well, it lends itself to the fact that all the rule changes are making it harder and harder on defenses, and whether it's the fact that you can't be as physical at the line of scrimmage with guys, it's the way that you have to tackle, it's the way that you have to gently put the quarterback down. There's so many different things.
And it does help the offense. And the inability to be able to put pain on the quarterback, like any big hit now in football, it's automatic a personal foul. No matter what. If you see a guy get hit and it's a good hit, typically there's going to be some laundry on the field afterwards. But also, we have to give credit to a couple other things that I believe are just as important as the rules. Number one, I believe we have the best throwers top to bottom that we've ever had. The quality of quarterbacks that we have, which I would consider top flight quarterback, is at an all-time high. And I think the other change is NFL coaches have gotten beyond their stubbornness and they're kind of depending on the way the game has been played, and they've reached back in the college football and high school football, and they've added a few elements to be able to stress out the defense. Motions, as far as we're going to throw the ball sideways more, wide receiver screens, and how we can beat blitzes compared to how they used to do it before. You used to try to block it up and protection, throw the ball down the field. No, you go ahead and blitz us, we're going to throw that thing to someone else in the flat very quick, and they're going to be able to advance the ball. So I think those things are leading to the game that we saw last night. But every game we saw leading up to last night, it would let us to be, if we get two good quarterbacks, we could see what we saw last night. So, no, I'm not surprised by the way what the product looked like last night.
And one of the hard things to deal with right now is you had the wildcat phase when that was introduced, and now you've got quarterbacks that are able to do these run-pass options, but they are legitimate throwers too. So you've got that added threat where if you don't have the additional guy in the box, you've got a real problem in the running game because the quarterback is a viable runner. And then if you do put him in the box, now it opens up so many things in the passing game. But what typically happens is there's an influx of ideas, and then the league catches up with it, and typically it goes back down, and we cycle around. And then seeing that over time, and I think we'll cycle back, except the rule changes do lend itself to more.
And a couple reasons why the Wildcat didn't continue to grow, even though for a period of time people thought it was going to change football. The number one reason why it wasn't going to change football, because they couldn't change the rules. Because once a quarterback decided that he was going to either fake it to a running back, he became a runner. So he forfeited all the luxuries of being a quarterback. So we knew, no, we're not going to allow our quarterback to get hit like that. So that's not going to be able to change the game. So now the things that we're seeing, these are things, if you have a good quarterback who can release the football very quick, read defenses, and you have to have a tight end. You have to have guys that can run speed sweeps, smaller guys in space. They're being utilized more now. So now these things are more apt to stick and continuing to see people growing. Also from the Wildcat, no one developed a very what I call a comprehensive passing game off of that Wildcat. So once you took away the quarterback and his ability to be able to flip it, now how are they going to attack from a passing standpoint? That never developed, so we saw it go away.
But the other reason that I thought last night's game was so fun to watch was, to Chris's point, it was a Big 12 score, but some of the biggest plays in this game were defensively. I mean, there were 3 defensive scores. There were 7 turnovers in the game. Like, some of the best plays of the night were plays forced by the defense. One of the reasons the score was so high was because of those 3 defensive scores. And so it wasn't just you score, I score, you score, I score. There were some great defensive plays. But the other part, though, that is leading to where we are today is, while the Wildcat couldn't catch on, I, as a fan, for a long time wondered why for certain college teams can the option be so successful and no pro team will ever run it at all. And now we're seeing, again, you're never going to have like the old Oklahoma team running a triple option.
God forbid.
Right, you're not going to, but you do have, you saw last night, the Chiefs in spots run that option, run option stuff. We see the Saints with Taysom Hill run the option stuff. So in little bits, they are pulling things from the lower levels of football that, if you have the right athletes, can work.
Yeah, well, the option game in college football, you have a limited time in college football with the athletes to prepare. In pro football, you have a lot more time. The option in college football is such a rarity. You're typically playing all these spread out teams, and that's how you're built. So now when you go to play option football, it's such a unique thing. It's foreign. Yeah, the offense is so much better at doing